Good morning, Math 7. We are starting a brand new unit today on integers. Make sure you have your name on this packet and the hour. And we're going to make sure this goes in your folder when your binder when we're done. So the 4 learning targets we have for this unit are that you will be able to add, subtract, multiply, and divide integers. But before we do that, we need to talk about some integer basics. So first of all, what is an integer? An integer are counting numbers, their opposites, and 0. So counting numbers meaning whole numbers, don't have fractions, don't have decimals, 0, and then the negatives. Numbers that are located on the opposite sides of 0 and are the same distance from 0 are called opposites. So the opposite of 3 is -3. The opposite of -3 is 3. So you can extend the number line you've been using since like first grade, kindergarten, to include negative numbers. So it's asking, what is the opposite of 6? Well, that would be -6. Much like we said the opposite of 3 would be -3. They're the same distance from 0. Now 0 is not considered positive or negative, and it's its own opposite. The opposite of 0 is 0. We can also read negatives as the opposite of a number. All right, so some examples of integers. Well, 1, 0, -5, 12, -1,145. Some non-integers would be 1.1, 1/2, -1/2, -3.25. So you get the idea? If there's fractions or decimals, they are not integers. We actually call them rationals. All right, graph an integer and its opposite on a number line. So graph 3, well, we're going to put a dot at 3. The opposite then would be -3. -6, its opposite would be, you guessed it, 6. All right, let's fill in missing numbers on the number line. For this first one, I'm going to start with the easy one. Looks like 0 would go right there between -1 and 1. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. And, oh, we're missing -4. On the next one, it looks like we start at 0 over here, and we're working down the negative side. Now, just like numbers get bigger as you go to the right side, as you count up, they actually get smaller going this way. So -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, -7, -8, and then -9. All right, on this next one, I found 0, but it looks like it's going up by 2s. So if it's 0, then 2, that means 4 and 6. And going the opposite way, it's going, starting from the left, it's -8, -6, -4, so this must be -2 before we get back to 0. And the last one looks like this should be a -7 and a -12. All right, now integers in real-world situations. Sometimes it's pretty easy to think of if you owe money. So if you have a debt meaning you owe money, that is a negative. If you were to win money or earn money, that would be a positive. Some other positives might be a gain, like in football, if you gain 7 yards. And the opposite of that would be to lose 7 yards. Let's see. Also, if you were to be above or below sea level, below sea level, or any starting point. It could be going up or down a mountain from a certain point. So we might hear the word, see the words ascend or ascending or descending. Let's see, what are some other words that might mean positive? Gain, earn, above sea level. Let's see, if we think about temperature, we could have above zero, a gain, temperature rising. Just like a falling temperature. We'll come back and add those to this in just a second. All right, so it says write an integer to represent each situation. So contestant gains, we have gain, 250 points on a game show. So we could write that as 250. We could put the plus in front if we want to, just for this instance, since we're writing an integer, but just saying 250 would be enough. Gasoline freezes at 40 degrees below zero. So that would be a negative 40. A hiker climbs, that's going up 900 feet. So that would be 900 or plus 900. You have a debt of $24. That means you owe money, so you're in the negatives. A football team losing 5 yards on a play would be minus 5. A savings account earns $30. That would be plus 30. Withdrawing from your bank account, that's a negative. Let's add those words up here to the top. So we said withdrawing money. And then the opposite of that would be adding money or making a deposit. If you deposit money into your bank account, that is adding money to your bank account. If you withdraw, that's a minus. All right, we're going to pause right there so this video doesn't get too long. Please play the